Hello, I'm David Derby on the Agora.io Unconference, speaking on creating a free food system in the mainstream, within the mainstream food system. First of all, I want to thank George Donnelly for just all his work. Lots of people put effort into the Agora.io Unconference, but George Donnelly especially came up with the idea, did a whole bunch of work putting it together, getting advertisers, getting speakers. It just looks like an awesome program, and he's largely responsible for it. Safe to say, wouldn't be happening without him. Yeah, I'm here to speak on creating a free food system. I'll go into what is a free food system in a few minutes. A bit about myself. I like to say I grew up in a largely free food system. I'm 28 years old. I was the oldest child in a family that practiced a lot of elements of the free food system. I was homeschooled as well, starting in the 80s, back when that was actually illegal. I owe a lot to my parents for being willing to teach me independence and willingness to break free from government-controlled systems, undesirable social structures, being willing to think for myself and create new systems. Check out I guess there's already a presentation on community schooling, and coming up later in the schedule is a presentation on unschooling. So be sure to check those out. Let's see here. I'm going to up the volume a little bit here. Alright, is that any better? Alright, and you also need to, if you're not familiar with agorism, check out the programs by Kat Bleich, Nick Ford, and Karen Kwiatkowski, among others. There's lots of great programs. Looks like 78 in the whole program, so be sure to check out and learn more about what agorism is. I'm honestly not sure how to pronounce it. But I want to start out with the premise that food is essential to freedom. I believe the highest freedom is spiritual freedom, but as far as our physical freedom, food is essentially intertwined with being free. It's an essential part of life. Let's look at the history of the kulaks, actually. The kulaks were a group in Ukraine. They were some fairly well-off farmers, relatively well-off, not necessarily wealthy, but they had animals, machinery, tools of production, and the communists saw this independence, this ownership of property, this ability to care for themselves, provide for themselves, as a threat. That considered them part of the bourgeoisie and a threat to the system of the state, the communist system. Joseph Stalin especially persecuted the kulaks. He started a program called dekulakization there in the Ukraine, in the breadbasket of Europe. He actually sent the police in and seized property of the kulaks, seized machinery, seized animals. The net result was that he successfully destroyed the kulak system. He destroyed the independence of the people, essentially by killing them. Over 12 million, 14 million were killed by starvation in the Ukraine, what once had been the breadbasket of Europe. It destroyed one of the greatest productive sectors of the Soviet Empire, because Stalin knew that this ability to create food, this ability to produce food, was a threat to his power, the power of the state. Now, most of us aren't farmers. We aren't kulaks. We